Welcome back. So in the previous video, we have discussed about user groups, users, and roles. So in this video, we'll be talking about the policies, identity providers, and account settings. So to access this console, you have to go to the services, and here you can go to the security, identity, and compliance, and here you can click IAM. So that is how you can access this console. So I've just clicked it. So this is how you can access it. So let's go ahead and talk about policies. So click policies. So you can see we have various policies. We have like more than 1,000 policies here. And if you see here, we have AWS managed job function and AWS managed. So basically there are two different types of functions here. So coming to the first one, which is AWS managed job function. So AWS managed job function policies are designed specifically to grant permissions for specific job functions within AWS service. So these policies are predefined and optimized for common job roles or tasks such as database administrators, network administrators, or billing analysts. So they provide a convenient way to access permissions to users based on their specific job functions without having to manually define the permissions from the scratch. So that is what the first one is. Coming to the second one, which is AWS managed. So AWS managed policies, on the other hand, are a collection of predefined policies provided by AWS. So these policies cover a broad range of permissions and are not tied to specific job function. So they are designed to address common use cases or scenarios such as accessing S3 buckets, managing EC2 instances, or administrating IAM users and roles. So these are some of the things that are under managed policies. So you can know about more of these by clicking plus, and you can see. So this is administrator access. So it has like you have like full permissions. So you can just click here and you can see it provides full access to AWS services and resources. So you can also see the JSON format here. So these are the services that we have access to, and you can click the JSON format that you want. So if I go back here, so if you see this one, so this one provides full access to AWS services and resources, but does not allow to manage users and groups. So if you want this power user access, you can add this and you can see the relevant JSON format and you can change accordingly if you want. So that is what the policies are in general. So let's go ahead and see the identity providers. So click identity providers and let's add the identity provider. Let's see how it works. So you can see we have two different types. So basically in AWS, there are two common protocols used for identity federation with external identity providers. So one is security assertion markup language, and the next one is OpenID Connect. So these are the two identity providers that we can use. So coming to the first one, so SAML is XML-based standards for exchanging authentication and authorization data between an identity provider IDP and a service provider SP. So it enables a single sign-on SSO functionality, so allowing users to authenticate once with their identity provider and then access multiple applications or services without needing to re-enter their credentials. So that is what the first one is defined. So coming to the second one, OpenID Connect. So OpenID Connect is an identity layer built on the top of the OAuth 2.0 protocol. So it provides a way to authenticate and authorize users by relying on the third-party OpenID Connect provider, commonly known as identity provider. So that is what the definition according to the docs. So you can also read here, you see established trust between your AWS account and SAML 2.0 compatibility identity provider, such as Active Directory Federation Services. And you can see the OpenID Connect. So establish trust between AWS account and identity provider services such as Google or Salesforce. So if you see the first one, initially you have to give the provider name that you are using. And from there, you can get this metadata document and you have to choose the file from there. And if you want to add any tags, you can add the tags and you can add the provider. So that is how simple it is. So coming to the next one, OpenID Connect. Here, whenever you are providing the URL, so these are the few things that you have to note whenever you are providing the URL. So coming to the next one, the audience. So audience is nothing but it's a client ID. So if you click here, you see before you create IAM OIDC identity provider, you must register your application with IDP to receive an client ID. So the client ID is also known as audience. So is a unique identity identifier for your app that is issued to you whenever you register your app with IDP. So that is what it is. and you can add your tags if you want, and that's it. You are done. So your identity provider will be activated. So if I go back, so these are two different types of identity providers that AWS provides. So let's go to the account settings now. So here you can see we have password policy. So this is the default password policy that we have right now. So click edit. So if you want to change, you can change it by using the custom. So if you click custom, you see the minimum password length. So it should be between 6 and 128. You can't just add 800 or 8000. So whenever you save it, obviously you'll be getting error since you are typing an invalid number here. So based on your needs, you can add the minimum password length. And coming to the password strength, you can ask the users to require one uppercase or one lowercase, and at least one number and alphabetic. So based on to be more secure, obviously I'll select all of these. And the other requirements are turn on password expiration. So you can set the number of days, maybe let's say 2 weeks. So you can set this so that the password will be expired and they can add a new password, right? Just to be secure. And second one is password expiration requires administrator reset and allow users to change their own password. So whenever they are login, they can change their own password and prevent password reuse. So basically, you can prevent IAM users from using a specific number of previous passwords. So you can specify a minimum number from 1 to maximum of 24 previous passwords that can't be repeated, right? So maximum is 24. So you can't use the previous passwords that you have used, right? So whenever you are using your company laptop, like, for example, if you use the same password, you will be getting an error, right? Use the new password. So that is how it works here. And you can just save changes. So in this case, I'm just leaving it default. So let's go back here. And the next one is security token service. So basically, the STS in AWS is a web service that helps you to securely manage access on your AWS resources. So it provides a temporary security credentials called security tokens. So these allow users to services to access AWS services and resources without sharing the long-term access keys. So that is what the definition of STC is. So you can see here. And here we have various endpoints. So you can also disable the endpoints that you want, right? But why would we deactivate? Well, there are like various reasons that I found out. So some is like security. So by deactivating a specific endpoint, you can limit the attack surface and reduce the potential for security vulnerabilities. So not all AWS services may be necessary or relevant to your specific use case. So deactivating unused endpoints help minimizing the risk of unauthorized access or exploitation. So that is one of the reasons. And second one is compliance. So certain regulatory or compliance requirements may necessitate disabling specific AWS services endpoints. So by doing this, you can ensure that the organization adheres to necessary security and privacy standards mandated by regulations as HIPAA, PCI DSS, or GDPR. So these are two different things through which like you can disable your endpoints. And maybe like down the line, I'll write a blog regarding this so that I can provide more information about these services. So that's it for now in this video. I hope you guys have understood the concept of today's video. And if you've liked the video, please click the like button below. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and please share the video. Thanks everyone.